So it's not speculation whether or not there was fights that have been fixed in the past. So to have a guy like Vince McMahon come over and run things, there would have to be a very clear delineation.
I think he'd have at least really good ideas. I don't know if
dude,
running
no doubt
at
about
100
it.
miles an hour, but I know this: the Diaz brothers would be fighting, and it would be crazy shit. It'd be Conor versus Nick after the Nate thing, and it would be.
I think you're right.
And things like that, because he knows that pop. You know what they do is they just listen to the crowd.
Yeah.
That's how they write it. It's not like some thing where he's going to stick to some... Well, sometimes he does. That's why everybody hates that one guy, Roman Reigns, because he just keeps letting him win, which is like, for the first time, a storyline that we've never even heard of. Because the crowd hates this guy, but they keep letting him win. So now he gets nothing but heat. Nothing but booze, because we're like, fuck this guy, he sucks. Why? We know you're going to let him win. It makes no sense. So he's fucking with us really good. But other than that guy, other than that exception, he listens to the crowd. And like, you know, I mean, it's just another perfect example. Looking back at the Nunes-Ronda thing, looking at that analogy, he would have focused on the Diaz brothers, and he would have focused on Nate waking up and smoking a joint and going for a run. Like, he would embrace that side of that storyline, because that is the interesting part. That's what everybody's saying about, you know, the John Jones Cormier thing or at that presser is like, I did cocaine all weekend and beat you up. But the Diaz brothers have been running triathlons while drinking tequila and smoking joints like it's nothing. Like, they don't even think about that. It's like how we have a cup of coffee in the morning. They literally smoke a joint. I read it in a thing. They smoke a joint before getting up and going on a 10-mile run. Get the fuck out of here. These guys are animals, and that should be embraced. That should be talked about. That should be part of their storyline. That's what I love about them, is because, by the way, even though I'm not a super athlete, that's sort of how I live. I like smoking pot. I like drinking at night with my friends, and I think I still can get my work done and do all that and have fun and be productive, and that's sort of where I connect with those guys and why I like their style. Granted, I'm a comedian. It's more fitting for my lifestyle to be able to smoke pot and drink, but I think that them being able to do all that's inspirational and goes to show you that you can have fun and work hard and have fun.
Yeah, they're really unusual too, in that most people associate triathletes and, you know, endurance athletes and the like that. You don't think of them as like thugs, you know, but you think of Nick Diaz, you think of him as this bad motherfucker that also happens to run triathletes. Yeah. He's not like some granola crunching, like he's a street dude who knows how to fight.
And at the same time, he is. You know what? I'll have another one of those.
Yes,
that'd be great.
Me too, please.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's funny because, like, yeah, they go both ways, to where it's like, yep, that's a thug street dude who, if you look at his Instagram, you see him in those, like, little bicycle outfits that guys on bicycles wear. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Wait, is that Nick Diaz wearing a fucking bicycle helmet? Get out of here. What?
He has a hilarious story about getting in a brawl in one of those things where people didn't know any better. Like, something happened, he was riding a bike, and he wound up getting in a fight with this other dude who's riding a bike, and a couple dudes at the same time. It takes one dude down, gets him in a heel hook, fucks his leg up, beat some other dude up, got back on his bike and drove off. But just they fucked with him.
Imagine that you're in a bicycle race and you're like, you know what, I'm mad at this guy. I'm going to start a fight with this guy.
Hey man, if you want to go looking for fights, you can find them. There's a lot of people out there that are just looking for fights.
I mean, if I was going to look for a fight, that's where I would look for. But a bunch of people racing bicycles.
You would think,
right?
Boy'd you fuck up when you picked a fight with Nick Diaz?
Exactly.
You're like, look at this dude, his little bicycle shorts. I'm gonna beat his ass. All of a sudden, you're like, why is my knee sideways?
Yeah.
Just rips. What a crazy move to do in a street fight. He heel hooks you, tears your knee apart.
Oh my god. But that's what's interesting, you know, and not only that aspect, but so many more with those guys. It's like, yeah, and they also look like street fighters that are going to punch you in the face, but they're also Gracie, high-level, black belt, you know, jiu-jitsu super artists, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Of the highest degree. So it's like, that just because, and I think that helps them, that perception, like, psychologically. Like, it's like, you know, it makes you think like, fuck this punk, but you're realizing that there's eloquent beauty coming at you in the art. It's just because they look one way, it's almost a distraction of like, it's almost like a Venus flytrap, how it's like all pretty and it's like, you know, the opposite, but it's like made to bring you in. and then it just snaps by using its natural element. Well, I think it's sort of reverse, where they sort of make you think they're punks, but they're not. They're smart as fuck, and it's a trap.
Yeah, it's a good point, man. It's like you would think that dudes that have that kind of shit-talking attitude couldn't really fight, but they fight real good.
Yeah.
And they're real technical, and they have crazy endurance and discipline, which is what's really weird about it, is how much discipline they have.
Yeah.
You know, you would think when a guy would talk a lot of shit, like, what's up, motherfucker? Stockton, motherfucker. That's not going to be a guy who can run marathons and swim back and forth from Alcatraz.
Right.
But it is.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy about him. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. They're brand new cups, and I have some milk and you can have.
Is it okay if your voice is used in the background of a podcast?
Say it again.
Is it okay if your voice is in the background of a podcast? We're recording something.
Many people are going to listen to us.
Is that okay?
Really? That's fine.
It's
You
okay?
don't mind my accent, yeah?
No, they love it. You have a beautiful accent.
Oh, you're sweet. Thank you.
What is that, French?
It's French, yeah.
It's very pretty.
What podcast is it about?
It's just a comedy podcast that we do sometimes. We do one on a plane on occasion.
Yeah.
All
Very
right.
good.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Everything good?
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
What's your name again?
Sylvie.
Sylvie.
That's fine.
Thank you, Sylvie.
Nice to meet you. You're welcome.
Sylvie's our guest for this evening, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it. Sylvie, a lovely lady with a beautiful accent. They treat you nice up here in first class.
Yeah, it's fun.
Super nice.
It's a lot better than being with the peasants
Dude,
in the back.
I'm going to take your spoon after it was in your mouth and I'm putting it in my coffee. I don't give a fuck.
Perfect.
How about that, dude? I'm not scared of shit.
I didn't even put it in my mouth.
Oh.
It was just in my cup.
But like, people will share joints, but you won't share a spoon.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think you're doing, bitch?
But
Don't be scared.
The endurance with those guys is really wacky. And
It's a big part of their success, man.
And another crazy thing is how psychologically damning the slap is.
Oh, yeah.
The way that guys...
That bit you have about it is fucking hilarious.
And
It's so true.
And because of the bit, I've gotten to think about it a lot more and sort of analyze it a lot more and from different angles than just as I was as an MMA fan before, and really figure out what it is sort of behind it. I mean, not that I know more than anybody, but it's sort of like the guys, it makes you overcharge. All of a sudden they become a matador and you're the bull by poking you like that. Because if you punch another guy in the face, that's expected. And if you kick your opponent in the head, that's expected. But open hand slapping your opponent like makes people laugh at you. And you can hear like laughter in the crowd. It's a different type of roar.
Right.
Or like that Ric Flair woo that you hear a lot lately.
Yeah.
Like woo, like those types of pops. I feel like even though, you know, a lot of those guys talk about tunnel vision and this and that, they can still hear that crowd. They feed off of that energy just like anybody does at a live anything. And you don't want to get slapped. No matter what, you just don't.
When Randy Couture fought Tito Ortiz, he spanked him.
What?
Got on top of him, he stacked him, and then he had him stacked. He was spanking him, and the crowd was going crazy.
Oh my
He spanked
God.
his butt.
Oh my God. What was that shit?
Oh, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Some ridiculous shit happens in fights. The first time Nick Diaz fought Robbie Lawler, I'll never forget it. Because I knew about Nick. I knew about his fights with Jeremy Jackson, who's this really talented striker that was on The Ultimate Fighter, but wound up getting in trouble. He was in jail for something. I forget what it is. It might be something bad. Like he's in jail for a long time. But anyway, when I first saw Nick fight Robbie Lawler, he got into the cage, and Robbie Lawler was a phenom back then. You know, he's probably like 20 years old, 21 years old, and Nick just starts going, "Stockton, motherfucker!" And Robbie's like, "What is this dude saying?"
Yeah.
Like, he's like, "Come on, bitch! Come on, bitch! Come on, bitch!" And while he's calling a bitch, you can see Robbie Lawler's head, like, "I can't believe this dude is calling me bitch."
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe he's calling me bitch. He's like trying to get you emotional, and
he
he got inside Robbie's head a little bit.
Oh yeah. Oh, he got inside Connor's head too. They don't want to show you those clips over and over again.
Nick never fought Connor.
No, I know.
But if Nick did fight Connor be in a lot of trouble. Nick's a different animal. That would be I was saying that would be a really interesting fight. And everybody's like, Nick Diaz is so much bigger. I'm like, look, Nick Diaz fought 155 pounds. Nick Diaz can get to 170, no problem. Connor fights at 170.
Yeah,
that is the fight.
Yeah.
Or Nate. That is the fight.
Yeah. The Shamrock versus the Pot Leaf.
Yeah, look, I like the idea of them coming. That's a good. I like that, dude. I like that.
Marketing, baby.
Dude, look at Kimmy Knuckles on that.
Boom.
Shamrock and the Pot Leaf. That's strong.
Come on, Dana White.
Yeah, they need to hire you.
Yeah.
You got some great ideas. Would you be interested in trying to turn this ship around?
Absolutely.
This battleship is taking on some damage.
Oh, I'd be so
We lost Rhonda. Got some water damage.
I'm not even kidding. A, I would love that, and B, I would actually enjoy it.